team fight better than Vici's now, right? Like you have to have
what about an ET or something?
ET comes to my mind, yeah. It's
kind of, if you get a good stomp, you can kind of reset. You can have a threat for the Roche pit exact you like too. So
it resets the Underlord pit, yeah.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
That's the only thing I can.
Let's see if Vici Gaming likes that as well and therefore bans it out. Oh, they like the bat riding. So we'll take that out.
There's so much single target lockdown coming out from the side of IG.
I would love PL for
bat rider ban, is it bat rider?
I think it would destroy IG.
I mean, you could run a bat as a 4.
Yeah.
That's interesting for a bit.
I feel this is one of those where I think these two teams know each other from times, and they definitely know what position Invictus is playing these heroes, and we may not.
Yeah.
Because like you're banning out a bat when clearly we don't think like at all that's what it is, which is always fun. That's interregional Dota for you.
That's why this is extra interesting.
Well, they get that whole little like meta between the two teams too, especially like at the bigger tournaments like majors, minors. Over time, just throughout the tournament, you see them changing everything to each other, which is a lot of fun. But
TA banned out.
I'm gonna see so much regional Dota today.
That's what you're talking about right now, right? We have a TA ban, and it's probably not what we would have expected.
You said you liked PL for Vici, Lizard. Like, just is it that good? You think it's just a game winner here?
I don't know if it... So, this is the reason why I like the PL. It's very chaotic versus Doom and Bane. Like, Bane and Doom are really difficult to play versus a PL. And also, it's a hero that... Now with the Shaker, it becomes a bit more difficult. But I think overall, PL versus Arc Warden is also pretty decent. You can get on top of him.
It's really like the Drow thing. Like, it is a good counter, but...
You can also lane versus Arc Warden. On mid versus...
PL versus Arc Warden?
Yeah. Oh, okay. You can do it. The Arc Warden hero, like, he has been buffed a little bit recently. I like him a bit more than before. The clone lasts longer, which allows you to outpush a bit more, which allows you to farm better, obviously.
His level 1 Q is still trash, so once you get that level 2, it's not as bad. I like the Earthshaker. It's kind of like the Elder Titan. I guess we were thinking of like a big team fighter, and we kind of forgot about this bad boy. He's one of the best 4 team fighters ever.
Is it good enough to force out that third game, though? And is it good enough to deal with the Kunkka? I feel like Ori is going to show Emo how it's done.
Dude, we're getting the carry Eurus Razor. Oh, yeah. I really like Vici Gaming's draft like a lot this game. You have the reset from Winter Wyvern. You have an Underlord to follow up. You have the Kunkka boat on top. Like, if they get a good Winter Wyvern ulti, the fight's over. There's literally nothing Invictus Gaming can do.
Well, they have to be... That's the issue I'm having looking at this, too, is how do you get to the back lines against the Winter Wyvern so that way it can't, set up... Yeah, you've got Bane, who's got really good lockdown, but Bane's got to reach Winter Wyvern. If you have a good Wyvern player, they're not going to be anywhere nearby.
I definitely believe there are flaws in the IG draft, but at the same time, it is an Arc Warden game, and if it goes super late, who do you have against you? It's Razor and it's a Kunkka. Like, you can deal with those scores later on.
It's going to be a timing push from Vici for sure.
A timing push. See if we can get a third game to this series. Let's hear from Kyle and Cap.
Yes. What? Let's hear from us. I'm not sure if we're on break right now because there's a countdown, but I also hear myself in my ears, so I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. As you can see, we're having a little fun before the game time starts because we do have a pause on our hands. And it seemed like the teams were having a little bit of fun during the draft as well, Kyle. I think we saw a little bit of giggling.
A lot of
bit
giggling there. Yeah, I'm always a bit concerned when I see a team pick Arc Warden and the other team is just chuckling to themselves, taking an hour and a half to decide on their final ban. You got to assume they're confident about the draft. Once again, I think Vici's going to have a solid laning phase. I look at the IG lineup, and I'm looking. I don't see. You've got.
You don't think they fixed the problems from last game?
Well, I don't think they're going to buy Meteor Hammer again, so that's one thing solved.
Hey, you don't know. Arc Warden double Meteor Hammer, baby.
Dude, that's an idea.
Big brain?
You might actually be onto something.
Big brain right here.
Interesting. Well, thing is, you've got Monkey King, you've got Arc Warden. Typically, these heroes, they kind of perform the same job in a fight, right? You're protecting, like, an area.
Yeah.
I like Monkey King with heroes that stand in the ult and like Siege Tower, and to an extent that's Arc Warden, but you really typically just don't want to play that aggressive. I think Wyvern is this be-all, end-all combo breaker in the team fights that we're going to see later on. You also have Kunkka. You also have the Underlord for Yang, who I think's played it the best so far in this tournament. You talked about choke point control, fatal funnels. Once again, IG do not want to run into any sort of walled-in area.
All right, let me give the rebuttal. Let me take IG. Let me lawyer up for IG here real quick. All right, you talk about zone control and that sort of thing. There's nothing better in this game than Wukong's command, right? We talked about this before in one of our drafts. It was like, oh, this team's trying to like win an area, but nothing beats the Monkey King ultimate, right? You may have Pit and Firestorm, but nothing beats 1,000 monkeys.
Well,
with a bubble, 2 bubbles.
I guess.
Venn diagram that Monkey King inside of his Wukong's command. He already has additional armor. You fighting into that? I don't think so.
I think so.
Okay.
The problem is the Wyvern, right? You also have Darkseer to just get people out of the Monkey King ult.
I mean, that was
literally the same game. Just get away from the circles of death, kite the doom, and just re-engage.
They had Monkey King. It was like, all right, we've got the Darkseer, so it allows us to be able to reset and stuff. Really cool. We have Dark Rift as well, allows us to be able to reset. Awesome. And they're like, we're going to pick Arc Warden. I was like, what?
4th pick Arc Warden.
Maybe lane is like really good for Arc Warden or something, but doesn't like Racer just kind of like run at you for most of the game? Doesn't Darkseer allow people to run at you for a lot of the game? Now you've got Kunkka with the really solid catch.
And it's also an Ori Kunkka. I saw a tweet, I think it was Gods or Grant, about how they were really looking forward to this Ori versus Emo matchup. Thought it could be the most hype of the tournament.
Yeah.
So far it's been a snoozer because Ori absolutely picked up Emo, crumpled him into a little ball, and chucked him into the dumpster. And you now have, what is this, a Kunkka versus a Monkey King matchup? This should, in theory, be favored for the Monkey King.
Yes.
We need to see that here.
I've seen it go other ways.
As have I.
It is one of those matchups that you can't screw up as Monkey King because you are a little bit low armor. Kunkka hits for a lot. He's got a nice combination.
That's a good point because Kunkka, it does physical damage now on the Tidebringer and a little bit bonus damage. So especially once you hit level 3, Monkey King starts to get harassed real heavy from it. And I've seen Ori win a number of unfavorable matchups. I remember was it TI8, TI9? He was Huskar against a Viper and just absolutely bodied the Viper. And I've seen this as well with he played he played Ember versus a TA and like solo killed him, and that was another. I can't remember the player, but he wasn't a slouch. It's definitely curious. And the winner of this, of course, they'd go on to play EG in the upper bracket.
You remember when Ori was like,
hello.
You talk about Vici Gaming, and you're just like, yeah, Ori's okay. I mean, he's pretty good at like DK and stuff, but he loses a lot of matchups, you know. That was like back in 2017, maybe.
Yeah. Of all the players,
God, he's gotten so fucking good.
Yeah. Of all the players, I remember. I can't remember what it is. There's been a lot of conversations. There's been a lot of Dota in my life. I'm approaching like a decade of MOBA. Starting to have my midlife crisis, but I remember people clowning on Ori for being a terrible mid laner. Discussions about how he was bad and like holding paparazzi back.
Yeah, it was like, and why does this team have Ori? Like,
and they've stuck
paparazzi,
with it, right? They continuously have changed out their 3, 4s, and 5s, but it's Ori and paparazzi, now Eurus, that have been the rocks, and I don't blame them. You think about the success of these Dota teams throughout the years, right? It's always the core players and the captains, and you can just know by the name, like when you look after a shuffle, which teams are going to be good, right? Before Artur was stuck or kept with EG, his stack always seemed like they'd be promising. Same with Miracle, same with Sumail. Wherever these guys end up, you can assume is going to be a good Dota team. Combined, we got a little bit of packet loss, by the way, folks. That's why we're still paused.
Do you think that's just because like talented players want a sure thing, right? If we give you an advantage, you need to close it out for us.
Yeah, there's no trickle down economics, just like there's no trickle down in Dota. You've seen a lot of talent sort of just all commiserate at the top, and the shuffles now. It's not really much new blood coming in. If there's any, it's just to take that 1 or 2 position as 4 old veterans make up the rest of the roster. You look at Secret, you look at EG. In the past, the players on these squads would have formed the basis of like 4 or 5 very competitive teams. Now they're all just together.
Yeah.
And there's no real reason to try anything new because you're guaranteed effectively like top 6, top 8 Dota team. Why do anything wild? Like, I love PPD, love Universe, but they're having struggles right now. A big part of that is like they kind of lost their place amongst the.
Peter's no longer held as this like tier 1 talent who's getting all this other tier 1 talent onto his team, right? And so now he has to like pick up some of the newer generation players
and hope that you just kind of find a diamond in the rough, right?
Yeah.
Like I tried the same for quite some time, never really had much success.
Yeah, you found a lot of rough.
Not a lot of rough.
Not a whole lot of diamonds. I feel like the one diamond you had, you brought with you. Z-Freak.
Yeah, definitely.
He was always the diamond on your team.
Shouts to Z. However, on the bright side, though, those NIP guys, eliminated early. PPD, I saw him pulling off some sick snowboard tricks. So perhaps after this career ends, he'd find another. You never know.
Is there nothing to be said for squads that are just like built together as a 5-man and just like Ad Finum, right? Good example of it.
Oh yeah, the power of friendship.
Their way up, power, friendship sort of deal. You could say the same for OG, but it's a little unfair when you have Anna and Top.
Do you know what really helps with friendship, Cap?
What's that?
Winning. Success. Power friendship is great, and it kind of ties into the weird catch-22 of Dota, which is that you're only going to win tournaments if your team believes in itself and its captain.
Right.
But the team's only going to believe in the captain if they're winning. It's sort of like trying to get a job nowadays. You need experience, and you're like, well, I need the job to get the experience. Like, well, sorry, you'll have to come back later. And you just kind of end up going in a circle, and before you know it, you're sitting in this chair.
Are there any so we're talking about like captains that people can believe in. Obviously, when you're showing up on the Dota scene, you're not going to be able to get a chance to play with a Puppy or Kuro right away. Are there any of the captains or maybe certain cores that you really believe in out of the tier 2 or tier 1.5 scene? Maybe some teams that are in this lower bracket, or a team that you saw at the minor?
I think Whisper, unfortunately not here, of course, is a superstar in the making.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there was certainly, we had a lot to say about RNG. They just seemed like a great team.
I think Lellis as well, the potential, the guy, Brazilian out of South America. And just because not because he's backstage listening, but Keizu.
Really?
Keizu and Cinderin. I think those guys have bright future as Dota 2 players. Very important they don't try to become analysts, because that would be competition. We don't need that. You guys can win TI. Stay at it. I believe in you.
That was pretty transparent of you, Kyle.
No idea what you're talking about.
Don't go down the path of an analyst. I need as many kicks as I can get.
Yeah, please. I'll be honest. My time on complexity did not exactly bolster my savings account. All right. In fact, we had to, not gonna lie, when we moved out of that big team house.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh, you're gonna go there, huh?
Well, let's just say that the security deposit was not fully recovered.
Yeah. Did anybody do any damage to that old house?
Well, I thought it was fine, but we made the mistake. We moved out, and then Rich asked if he could just crash for a couple days. No idea what happened, but I got a very angry letter from the landlord.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of stains. Maybe some smells. You don't want to do that.
Still got packet loss, by the way, as you can see. Kale can't translate that for you. I'm not sure, again, what's going on, but we're going to get this underway just as soon as we can. I'm sure Twitch chat doesn't mind hearing our conversation. They'd much prefer us to do it.
Yeah, spill some more dirt on your former teammates, Kyle, for our entertainment.
Okay. What would you like to know? I played with effectively all of NA Dota, so I got you covered.
Well, that's unfortunate because we're watching China versus China, Vici Gaming versus Invictus Gaming, and we're finally ready to go. Game 2. Let's get this underway. We've got JT and Ollie grouping up. These guys looked like quite the squad at the very first minor. Very impressive. Here in the major, in the upper bracket, doing China Dota proud. But in this inter-regional matchup, it's been a bit of a rough one, at least for game 1 anyway, and judging from Kyle's analysis and some of the panels, game 2 might be a little hard as well. It's certainly not the most traditional lineup you've ever seen. Picking up that Arc Warden, a little bit interesting. Vici Gaming gave a twist of their own, taking a page out of Nigma's book, right? What was Nigma? Draft 4 position Darkseer. Just double checking.
And then there was Secret in the group stage that drafted a 3-position Darkseer that turned into a 4.
Yeah. I don't know how innovative that one is.
I like it in this sort of game, though. It's just team fight. That's the thing. I look at Vici. It just feels so hard for IG to win an engagement because they only have like blink initiation, right?
Yeah.
Sure, you could like pounce on someone with a Monkey King, but Vici just have these like I win buttons waiting. If someone catches, if you get X'd, you're probably just gonna die. That's easy catch. You're gonna be able to surge forwards. Razor has excellent link targets here. All 3 heroes, or all 3 cores rather. Very easy to be ran at.
A good start for IG. They managed to swap the lanes in time, so they're not going to get that Razor versus Doom matchup that could have happened. Yeah. They want to be able to get that Arc Warden against it, but they are going to try and gain JT very early here. See if they can force him to teleport, and he does. He TPs to the tier 2, very low on health. He did double down on the tangos.
And perhaps the more important matchup dodged is that Emo is in the off lane instead of mid because he doesn't want any more of what Ori's cooking.
Yeah, this time Fly's going to try and take it to him because after all, he's playing the Monkey King. They want this matchup, but this matchup is kind of fun. There's a high amount of variance here just because the Monkey King should be able to win, but there is so much damage coming from this Kunkka on a low armor hero, plus you've got the combo. Even just one support rotation can make a world of difference.
It reminds me of the old school Puck versus Lina matchup where Puck had a little more base damage, better attack animation. You'd slowly win, much like the Monkey here, but you mess up and Lina just turns around and kills you. Same with the
Here's going to be your first gank, but this time it's coming from Kaka. They do manage to get the stacks up. Nice body blocks from Kaka. Enough to ensure the kill? It is. Fairy Fire will not save Ori. First blood for the Earthshaker.
And they set that up just as the courier delivered the Orb of Venom. That's actually what secures the kill. Really nice job there. Good movement from the Shaker. And one of the few tri-lanes we've seen thus far at the tournament. But makes sense. You're trying to free farm your Arc Warden. You've got a Bane. It's a very formidable try, and also because you have this advantageous matchup middle, you now can effectively play 2 lanes, which is what you want. when you have a more roaming style of your 4 position.
Just in time, hits the Boundless Strike to be able to get the stacks up. Looks to finish off the range, but Eurus is going to die here in bottom lane as he tries to challenge this double range matchup he's against, and he just feeds.
Yeah, he's going so far so good for IG. Top lane, the downside of the Darkseer 4 is that, of course, you don't really apply any. Oh, hold on.
Oh, Fly gets a little bit low, but they're going to be able to get the Jingu stacks and the Fisher block. Just beautiful from Kaka. The Boundless Strike up to full health. And this is how you dominate a mid lane. Kaka is going to grab this double damage rune. He left it there for a bit to see if Fly wanted to pick it up.
This is sick now. Monkey King just starts to run away with this lane with this kind of lead, and we're going to see a repeat perhaps of that previous game where level 4 Kunkka is forced to jungle. And yeah, Darkseer, yeah, there's a Shaker roaming, but what is the Darkseer roam actually going to accomplish? He was expecting a more combative lane up top. They were going to end up trading resources. Instead, he's sort of relegated to just jungling and stacking because his effect up top is no. You just chase a Doom around, sure, but you're going to end up pushing the lane, and he just farms under tower. And I like this swap. You want to make sure that someone else gets the advantage of free farming tops. They'll put the Razor up there.
Yeah, but then aren't they just going to, okay, another Fisher block, dude. Somebody's got to give him a vision. He just cannot contend with this. The Winter Wyvern shows up, but it's far too late to save him. Ori is going to get banged on by Kaka at the same time. PYW does manage to get the kill on JT as they trade out to Yang at the same time.
This is necessary because the Razor actually has kill potential on the Doom, and as you can see, IG are wreaking havoc on the mid and bottom lanes. They needed something, but
why didn't IG just swap right away? I know they had the TP up on Arc Warden at least.
I'm not sure, to be honest. They might have thought they could just do better than they are. Bane, of course, is still one of the best supports in Dota 2. And Arc Warden, like, you have 2 spells that deal damage, right? It's pretty simple. They're going to sleep into the spells. Now there's a Shaker setting up. It's just so much damage output.
Enough to ensure the Spark Ray does land. And they can pop the Flux as soon as Yang gets away from the creep wave. Due to that Fisher block, he's going to run back into the creep wave to try and dodge some of the damage, but it's enough. It's slowed him down. It's kept him in place, and enough for IG. 6-1 already.
And Ori still just coming back middle. 0 and 3, tripled up in CS by the Monkey King, but I don't mind the decision because you can't go jungle. Like, you cannot just let Monkey King farm mid, especially because he'll just hunt you in the jungle no problem once he pushes the lane in at nighttime. So we'll see. Maybe they're going to look for a kill, actually. Will this work?
Yeah, they're going to try and slow down Fly here. Kaka ready to get a good Fisher block in. Holds it for a little bit, now realizing that they're going to go for him instead. Tries to throw it out, does manage to dodge the Torrent, but it will be run down by the Ion Shell. Not sure if you could call that a successful gank, but it will give Ori a breath of relief. At least for a moment. Until he goes back in and almost dies. There's going to be that cold embrace, but that just sets up Fly to be able to surround him with the Wukong's command. He's going to go for PYW at the same time. Gets that kill. And now playing forward. He's going to pop the healing sound. Look at that. Ollie
nice
rotates over to be able to catch it. The torrent does land on the Fly, but he turns around. The dodge. Oh, he dodged a little bit of damage and will be able to life steal just out on the strike. Oh, he didn't hit anything. Fly, what the hell was that?
He saw them too.
Choked under pressure, man. You could have hit the 2 melee creeps and the Underlord.
That was just a whiff. That felt like one of those old school 80 moves with bad choreography. You know, you're supposed to lose the fight and the punch just sails. He sees them. Like, he played sick, he jukes me.
I mean, I don't even think he
killed the courier.
He killed the courier, and then Yang, like, started going up.
Maybe he lost vision?
Maybe he did, yeah. He just clipped that one creep, that was it. That's all he hit. Awkward. 3-8 now, 2,000 net worth lead for IG. JT is, we haven't talked about him yet, but he's just trying to make it work against the Razor lane. Doing a little devouring, a little bit of creep pulling. Whatever tricks he can come up with.
Awkward is 28 denies. Emo recovered after the shellacking he got in that first game, now looking in a dominant position. Flyby as well. Like, this is what you're looking for if you're IG. Your 2 cores skyrocketing in the top of the net worth chart. And you guys are the ones with the late game.
Last game he was sad. This game he just seemed straight mad. trying to punish Vici Gaming and instill the same kind of rough laning phase that he had to endure. And it's certainly working. 50 denies, 54 denies on the side of IG.
Rookie numbers, Cap.
Rookie numbers. What's the highest number of denies you've ever gotten, Kyle, in a game?
I'm not sure. It's not really something I prioritize. I think denies are overrated. Just ask, well, no.
Kyle, weren't you an offlaner?
Let's not get into that, Cap.
It's not saying I rate denies real highly because that's what keeps me from getting levels, and that makes me feel real bad. This is just going to be a compilation of Ori deaths.
Looks that way. There's quite a few of them. This could take some time.
One more Fisher block for the road.
This is not an instant replay. This is 3 separate times Ori dies in pretty much the exact same fashion.
It's just wild to me. Like, I understand they have a 4-position Darkseer, so not a lot he can do to help you. But I just can't believe they let Ori just get ganked that many times by an Earthshaker. Nobody wanted to give him vision.
I mean, he had
that might be the culprit right there. PYW, where's your vision going, dog?
He had a ward, but unfortunately it didn't see where the Shaker was actually standing because he effectively just camped behind tower. And no one's going to ward behind their own tier 1 mid the initial daytime.
Well, all this free space they've given to Emo, he has statted up.
Trusty Shovel.
He's got 3 Wraith Bands and a Treads. Trusty Shovel for Yang.
What is it, a 16% chance to find a bounty rune?
Yep.
Unbalanced. Not really.
The true win is having an Alchemist, because even when he gets the little goal, he doesn't care that much. Ollie pulled back into his doom, but Fly, he actually sees an opportunity to be able to fight, and he's right. Yang getting beaten senseless here with a big staff from Fly, but Yang will limp away with just 10 HP. Didn't want to overcommit. Meanwhile, Eurus, that's a big kill. JT has had to put up with a lot of shit from this Razor, and he finally gets a little bit of revenge.
Emo made a great play there, just teleporting in his illusion. He's got triple Wraith Treads, so the stat and damage output's quite high. So we still have a little bit of a packet loss, so we're gonna take a short break. But if I'm Vici, I need maybe a time machine to try and recover this early game, because at this point it is really just out of reach. Once again, this Kunkka mid getting exploited. However, at least it required the rotation of a Shaker, but it didn't really punish bottom, as the Arc Warden's actually having an even better game than the Monkey King right now.
Yeah.
And this is how you'd like to tri-lane. It's a forgotten relic of the past, but in a perfect world, when you aggro tri-lane, you want to have 2 heroes strong enough that they can be left there by their own, and also have kill potential on mid with one of your supports, because you're effectively just playing 4 people on the bottom side versus tri-laning hard. If you're stuck as 3 heroes, you end up just getting to a significant XP disadvantage. But because Shaker doesn't really need any, he can freely just rock the woods. And again, what is a Darkseer going to do? He's out leveling the Shaker, sure, but it doesn't matter because the game impact radically different stories when it comes to
I mean, you pointed out pretty early. It's like, what can he do right now? Well, all he can really do is just stack. Nobody's afraid of ganking Darkseer at level 2.
He does have 2 points in vacuum, but even this is kind of odd to me. You've got no points in Surge. So
I thought this game was going to be a lot about the Surge, so I'm surprised he's willing to delay that ability so much.
Playing for the AoE combo, perhaps? You do have a hell of a lot of AoE. You vac someone into the Wyvern ulti, then set up for the Torrent combo. You've got Pit, you've got Fire.
Let me just say, this Earthshaker is rocking the game right now, and that is an iconic Kaka hero. I remember watching replays all the way back at in like the TI 2-3 area, and I had a little notebook that I would write, my little notes on.
Yeah.
You know, I was playing a little bit competitively at that time, but I was also casting as one of the.
You made like air quotes competitively.
Yeah, like air quotes. Like you know, I scrimmed and got dumpstered by real teams. You know, that sort of thing. But
sounds like my experience as a professional.
But I had a little Dota notebook, and I still remember writing down a Kaka, and it was just like any melee initiator you can give him, he's a god on it. You give him Earthshaker, you give him, back in those days, it was the 4-position Sand King that was also really good. He's just a beast at being able to read team fights and positioning himself to get initiations. And he's certainly doing quite the job of it in this laning phase. We'll see as the game continues on. Nice shirt, JT.
I was about to say the same. I love negative space. So, any other stories in the past, Cap, you'd like to share with us in the audience?
How about the first time we casted together?
Oh, true. Was that 2009?
2009. A young Kyle and Capitalist.
Top tower is under
in a different game, in a different world, in a different place in their lives. Casted Dota 2, and here in 2020, casting together again.
Why'd you check your watch when you said 2020?
Because I wanted to make sure I did it right. I don't know, Kyle. The camera's not even on me. I'm like Rich, you know, I just need, everything's a prop. Kunka's been caught. Okay, that's not a Fisher that's going to do any damage. He's not running up the ally. For sure, I guess so. Okay, well, they aren't going to be able to get an initiation on Yang. They will manage to kill him. Fly kills him, and the Cold Embrace is not enough to save Ori either. So they managed to get 2 core kills off of that invasion. Very nice.
He had to do the long walk around. And wait,
and he just shows up, and he just last died. Okay, Fly. That's the play. Wait. Does Fly have Boundless Strike yet? Oh, he does. I was like, maybe he was afraid of getting vacuumed up because I know he didn't have it for the longest time.
But I see now that that's what the VAC's for, right?
Yeah.
You can't take fights. Go for the cliffs, right? It's been EG's kryptonite. Maybe it's IG's kryptonite as well. Interesting idea. Ori now, value Iron Talon. Pretty far behind, but at least he'll be able to get his creep score going a little bit faster. Just about to hit level 6. And
it just sucks when all 3 of your cores cannot lane against this Arc Warden very well.
Yeah, and they're also all running together. Like, what? This is the most ridiculous gank. You've got what? Look at that. There's 5 heroes here, Cap.
He tried to torrent him back. He tried to back him into the torrent. He didn't make it. Well, damn, they got him. Kaka's dead.
But they're gonna lose both outposts.
But is Kaka dead, Kyle?
You're right. Wait. Yeah. But that's not. I mean, it's 4 runes. It's both outposts. It's just not looking solid if you have an Underlord roaming through your own jungle. Now getting salved by Paparazzi, who's going to, I assume, just walk back to top.
He even gets his healing self-canceled by his Spark Wraith. Whoops. It's fine. He's got his shovel. Dig.
God, of all the times, like, you're behind, you'd love some stats, and Vici actually pick up 3 neutral items that effectively give them nothing. Shovel, Iron Talon, and Mango Tree.
Yeah. Dude, Mango Tree feels real bad when you're just getting run over.
Yeah.
The vision's not gonna
where
last
do you put
long.
it? Your own, you're trying to make it for efficiency, but if you put it in your own jungle, the other team finds it. It's like, oh, what have we done? And this is clone. This is gonna be so much damage.
You got bopped. Well,
I can't believe this turn of events. If there's anything to glean from this thus far, I assume it's just the laning phase. I can't lose your lane.
We've been saying since the start of the minor.
Yep.
It's just like, lanes are really important.
I was trying to pump Armin and Bulba for information on their drafts as their teams were winning, and obviously they don't want to give anything away, but they both agreed that if you win all 3 lanes, the game is much easier. And I asked them for clarification. They said yes. I wrote it down in my little notebook, and I think it's something we can all learn from.
Those damn Nigma players, man, they just keep on popping up. You can't stop them. First GH, now mind control. 6,000 net worth for IG, asleep. into a Fisher block, into a bunch of Spark Race. I mean, you could throw those Spark Race from so far away. But Yang is still very tanky. He's going to survive through a lot of this one, and he just threw out the Tempest double to finish out Yang. He does manage to get that kill. The Axe back onto Ollie. And he will probably be run down. Okay, Winter's Curse, and look on the side. Rocket's ready to go. The boat's going to come in. That's still not enough to finish off Ollie. And his Fly joins in. Nice vacuum up the cliff. There's that surge. Look at him go. Level 1 surge is so useless.
It's funny, Darkseer, like the nerfs, he's still an excellent hero, but your laning phase and your early game are so bad. Especially, I've played the hero back in the day, you know, ROTK and me, we have a bit of a thing for the hero. I remember when we would just
this is a nice initiation. Eurus? Okay, never mind. His static link got broken, and now he's walking into a Monkey King. This is not where Vici Gaming wants to be. Abort. Abandoned ship. Don't. Oh, no. YW, what you doing? That is contaminated area, sir. Don't go into that.
Now the emo clone just boxing out the entire Radiant lineup. Good lord. 4 to 6. It's an 8K gold lead, and I just don't. I don't know what you do. You got Tranquil, so you're gonna have a blink on Kaka by 18 minutes or so. And you look at this. I like this decision from Eurus. He's got to rush the BKB, and he's going all in on the damage. You cannot afford the luxury of move speed. You need a max QW and just BKB right at the Monkey King.
You know, it's really, I'm going back to it, but, like, the laning phase being so important, what happened if Vici Gaming just managed to get the lanes they wanted? You know, what happens if they manage to get the Razor into the
I don't think much changes. No? Simply because JT wasn't really the X factor. There's not really much you can do with the Darkseer 4 to match the tempo of IG. I actually think if you do anything, it's put the Razor middle.
Look at him go! Lord, he's certain. He's going to be run down by the Scorched Earth. Ori. He lost vision of him. He was supposed to be able to get vision. X marks him. He's stuck inside the tree area. Well, maybe it's for the best because Fly, he was actually somewhere close by.
Oh, they saw him. Thank goodness, that would have been dangerous. If he starts farming those Ancients, I'm pretty sure he just gets ulted on top of by Monkey King. And yeah, to your point, the issue is just that there's no way to stop Vici, or IG rather, from winning that bottom lane with their Bane Arc Warden, and then the Shaker, whenever he shows up, it's a kill. I don't care what core is safe lane. And what do you, I guess you could have put Wyvern Underlord there, but it's still not going to go well for you. And you're always susceptible to just being ran at middle, and now Fly.
Okay, that's a decent bolt here. Can they actually finish off the heroes? Fly going to be pulled back, trying to turn into a tree, but Yang cleans him down with a big swing and is going to do the same to Kaka.
That's not bad. It's a little fight right there. You pick up 2 kills real quick. Yeah. YW escapes up top. They do lose tier 1. And all the bounty runes.
Did he get the deny on the tier 1? I believe he still did. He did. Good job. So that was a decent chunk of change that Vici Gaming just got, like 600 for those 2 kills mid. Deny on tower. That's another path.
Keen Optic for the Bane. Nice luxury item.
Oh, yeah.
Both having cast range increase. Emo closing in, Eurus rather, on the BKB. And Philosopher's Stone. Oh, man. That has got to be... I think Shovel and Philosopher's Stone, a lot of fans might not know, but for pro player perspectives, they're some of their favorite items because they're the only ones that actually just immediately can influence the game economy. And to like Fly's point, right? He's like, sometimes you're a 5 disruptor, you find a Philosopher's Stone, and then what do you know? You got an Eggs. It's just like a free level 10 talent.
It is like...
Fan.
If you think about it, 600 golds for 10 minutes. That doesn't feel that impactful in the first 10 minutes of the game. But all these tier 1 and tier 2 items, you're going to shuck off. Yeah. You're going to leave them on the ground. You're going to trash them at some point in time. Those are the only items that really stay true. You're going to utilize them the entire game.
Yep. That's a really good point. It's the only thing you can't buy. It goes back to these mechanics in Dota, item-wise, skill-wise, that just you can't replace them. There's nothing you can do as the enemy team to combat them. Like Disruptor Ag's ultimate, it's just, oh, I'm caught. I'm now AoE doomed for 5 seconds. There's no counterplay. And the thing I love about Dota is that almost everything does have some sort of counterplay. But if you're getting 60 more gold per minute and I'm not, there's no way to create a Philosopher's Stone. There's no Nicholas Flamel's available, at least to my knowledge, in this game.
I like that reference. I would have gone for Full Metal Alchemist, but I'm a weeb and you're not, so. Another tier 2, or first of the tier 2s down, rather. IG, pretty sure they could just systematically work their way across the map. Still got Roshan to take as well. Vampire Fangs for Monkey King, he won't say no to that. Some free lifesteal for him.
Diffusal into the Echo Saber on the Monkey King, just a fighting build. You don't need anything crazy. You've got an Arc Warden to secure the game for you, and you're just so far ahead. They get the Van Brace on Emo. He's just huge.
Yeah, he's...
Oh, he got the shawl, too.
Yeah.
That's so good on Arc Warden. It makes your Mjolnir deal more damage, your Spark Wraith, your Flux. It's absolutely unreal.
Double damage.
Is it spell amplification plus magic resistance and then minus armor? Is that what it is?
Minus 3 armor, 20% spell resistance, 8% spell damage.
It's pretty high. Yang. Great smoke gank, or smoke tank rather. Managed to get out with the Dark Rift, nice and easy.
And back to the bank, heal up. Maybe look to fight this. Does Eurus have his BKB yet? That is the question. Answer, no. But once he picks it up, perhaps you could look to get aggressive here. You just got to be so cautious because, you know, there's going to be Spark Wraiths everywhere, Monkey King in the trees, and Vici's lineup requires a choke point. They need IG to overcommit and get some sort of 3-4 man combo. I just don't see IG putting themselves in a position where that's going to occur because you just don't need to. You're going to have control of the map. You spread out, Delta split. Make sure if anybody goes down, it's just a one. Wait out the Wyvern ulti, re-engage.
Well, we're just going to be watching some cores farm, it seems, for a bit, because IG, they don't feel super confident about being able to just break tier 2s down and go for these larger objectives. They're content with just farming a larger part of the map. Meanwhile, Vici Gaming, they'll take whatever pickoffs they can get, like Kaka here.
The tidy Tinker Ward that scouted him out, hiding in the trees. QLW going for a pipe next. Still just a 1-point search. He's maxing the vacuum, and I got to assume it's waiting for that opportunity for the knockout punch. If you hit a 3-4 man Wyvern ult or vac into boat, it could be big. Doom onto the Razor. He's very, Conka, he's it.
Yeah, he pulled things a few times because he wasn't sure, but PYW, who tries to come into this, instantly dies as well. They're going to buy back and fight this. Oh, really? They think they can take this. Emo trying to go for the TP out underneath the pit. That doesn't work so well. My friend Fly, he's going to be able to get off Wukong's command, and it's enough to get the kill onto Yang. So all those buybacks did result in at least one kill, but they would love another, and that's where the vacuum pulling him. Oh, God. Now the Echo Slam. A 3-man Fisher to seal the deal. They're not going to be able to finish off that Monkey King. He will kill Ori, and now he might be able to kill Eurus as well. Actually, he's got to back up. It's still a little scary. He's missing a lot of armor from that lightning. But JT, he's a little bit more willing to commit. Kaka with a Fisher block in. PYW just has to try and go for kills, but not able to get any of 5-man wipe. Make it like 7-man wipe because of 2 buybacks as well from Vici Gaming. All for an Arc Warden.
Unbelievable. Oh my God. That vac, if it pulls him out of the Monkey King ult completely, perhaps that's a kill because he gets so much plus armor from the Wukong. But Kaka, out of absolutely nowhere, it just slams it home. We're going to watch this fight real fast as they shrine up and look to Roche. As you can see, double buyback, immediate TP to the outpost. Emo, as you said, he's TPing in a pit. That's unfortunately ineffective. Flyby pops the ulti. He picks up Yang. Let's see just how close he is to the outskirts of his ult.
He's right on the line.
Yeah, because he's getting plus 18 armor thanks to this.
Yeah.
And
what an initiation from JT, setting up Kaka to hit that Echo Slam, and then it's just over. It's over from there.
I love the Centaur. We didn't see that in the first game.
Yeah.
And I just think this is the way you want to play Doom right now. Especially as the off lane, right? You get a drums phase, so you're strong early on. Later, blink BKB, and you just land your Doom, land some stuns. You effectively turn yourself into a Centaur with the addition of removing a hero from the game for 15 seconds. And once it gets that axe, it is queued up, it'll be permanent.
Yeah, the best part is you're kind of a Centaur, you remove a hero from the game, and you scale so well.
Yeah. And I lied. I forgot. The new axe is actually for the Infernal Blade, not the Doom.
Yeah.
It makes it break.
It makes it break. It makes it do. If you get the Aghanim Scepter plus the level 25, it's over 50% of your HP. Because you got the percentage-based damage plus the base burn that's going into it, plus the spell amplification that you get from intelligence and stuff.
That's a lot. Yeah.
It's insane.
It's currently, it would be 31% of your max HP burned on a 4-second cooldown.
Yeah.
That's not bad. I like that.
It's not bad at all. And hey, it's also a good stun. That was what people were really hyped about. Oh, get another stun on a Doom? That's hype. But
I look
the
at
burn damage.
Whenever Razor's the top net worth on his team.
Yeah.
And that is just not a very intimidating item.
Yeah.
Like, all of that is just not scary.
I mean, he went for the early BKB, and that's why they also bought back. They're saying, like, if we're going to win this game, we have to win fights right now.
Yeah.
And that did not happen. They did not win a fight right now.
I think IG is further ahead than they might realize at the moment. And they're going to just run forwards. I agree with this decision. You were in such a dominant position. Just kill stuff.
Just kill them.
Yeah, like that.
Oh.
You can count on Emo to take care of the lanes.
Yeah.
You just go fight them. Just run around the map.
When you're ahead with an Arc Warden, it feels so good.
Oh yeah.
You're just running around the map together. You and your 3 other friends. An Arc Warden occasionally joins you with a Boots of Travel or Tempest Double.
Yeah.
He deals with all the lanes.
This is the right choice. Just get Roche first. If they want to come fight you, you can split up a bit. They've got a ward on the high ground along with their Bane, just making sure nobody would get through them, smoked up. And now you just split up. Get ready to fight just in case they show, but no way Vici tries to fight the pit.
This is going to be such a massive power spike. BKB on the Monkey King soon with the Aegis that they just grabbed, the Hurricane Pike. They don't have the best hero. I guess they got Aurora. He's pretty good at hitting tier 3s. I'll take that back. What does this Yield Scepter do, by the way?
If you cast it on yourself or an enemy, it lifts you up into the air for 2.4 seconds, gives some move speed, some mana regen.
Thank you, Kyle.
No worries.
That was very informative.
Trust me, if anyone knows what Yule Scepter does, it's me.
I don't know. Wouldn't you be the last person to know what Yule Scepter does?
No.
Seeing as
you can only truly understand something, Cap, after you have lost it.
Ah, I see. That's pretty good. No, but seriously, why goals on Yang?
Set up, I suppose. You don't have any. It's like easy for a torrent, and they are lacking a bit of catch. If you consider it's effectively just X that would allow them to secure kills, and Ori wasn't really having the greatest of games thus far.
Yeah. It's just like in this losing game, like at best, it feels like at best it's going to maybe use the Doob or Earthshaker when they try and blink it.
I don't know what you buy in this scenario other than perhaps like I don't know.
Well, what about a Meteor Hammer?
A saboteur to unplug our internet. 'Cause right now you are up the creek without a paddle, and the longer the game, like you're playing against an Arc Warden Doom. Like look at their net worth skyrocket. The lead was 13, 14K. Every minute it goes up by almost 1,000. And yeah, Doom's getting like 350 gold every 70 seconds.
Oh, tried to go for the Fisher block. Missed.
Orb of Destruction. Decent.
Yeah, I mean, Orb Venom's pretty good on Monkey King, as is the minus armor orb.
And the
forget
slow.
what it's called. So why not combine the two of them?
Yeah, right?
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
I mean, oh man, he's not getting the Ags anymore on the Doom. He's going for Shivas. Actually, I think that's probably the better decision, but still, I wanted to see the Doom Ags.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, you just build a bunch of auras. Right? Doom is going to be initiated on Winter's Curse into the boat, plus the Static Link. They're going to be taking his damage away, but they won't stop him from being able to teleport out. And if anything else, fly the Eul's into the Pit of Malice. Can they catch this guy? Fly. He's got the Aegis and the BKB, though. So even if he dies here, we'll see whether or not he dies the second time, especially Euro's taking so much damage. That one Tempest double just pounded him down.
Oh, they forced a BKB. They got the Aegis.
Yeah.
So far, so good for Vici. Now with the 4-staff on the Underlord to boot, so going for more of the utility style. What's Ori got? Is he closing in on that BKB yet? Soon. I like the choice. I know this game feels somewhat hopeless for Vici. It might be, but I appreciate the way they've played. If you consider how far behind they were, they had to do this. So you get the early stat fighting items, right? Onlet on Kunkka, BKB Razor. You at least give yourself some hope. And you do the Philosopher's Stone ticking on PYW.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I doubt it will provide immortal or eternal life because he's effectively just dead in the sun. He's got to position himself very carefully as this game progresses. Telescope on the Wyvern, quite nice. Will help with their potential and perhaps allow him to find a big ultimate. I mean, you can still win a fight. 3-4-man Wyvern Curse. Perhaps you turn this around.
Trying to catch Yang here.
Oh,
Winners first. Can they follow this up? They're going to follow it up with a Pit of Malice, a little bit of damage there, but they just don't feel confident enough to be able to take that fight, and probably nor should they. With the BKBs up, they're just going to have to leave DY and play inside the base. Oh, Fly wants it. He's going to go in. He's already fished up Ori, but the Surge might just be able to get him out in time. 4-7, and he's away. He gets out. IG dive in recklessly and will not be rewarded right away with a kill.
I love the itemization too. Double 4-staff on the supports.
Yeah. It is a 4-staff game.
Actually,
for sure.
It's 3 because you have the Pike as well on emo. He doesn't use his. Something that's actually quite nice. I had the misfortune of playing with a few carries that had Save a Buddy syndrome. When you're on a hero like Arc Warden, it's cute and it's flashy to save an ally, but the moment you use your mobility tools, suddenly you're the one who's susceptible and you're the one that can't die.
Trying to kill Tempest double, but he's got a little bit too far forward, or he still doesn't have that KB. So Dab and Flex, they're going to doom him up as well. But the Winters, okay, they're going to be able to save him with their Cold Embrace for a little bit of time. Can he actually get back to the fountain? It's going to be a bit of a close call. He's going to take out too soon. They deny him instead.
Do you get permanent damage for that?
I don't believe so, no.
But if you did,
that would be hype. Don't think it would change what's happening right now to the tier 3. Look at Fly. Positioning themselves to try and get some sort of pounce in, but Kaka who pounces first. The 2-man Echo Fiend's Grip onto the BKB Razor. So that's going to be a wasted BKB pretty much. Still not enough to be able to finish off Yang, who now turns around, gets a Pit of Malice onto Ollie. Ollie in trouble. It's going to be X back into that pit. The buybacks are effective in getting a 5-position kill, but nothing else. The rest of IG, they managed to get out.
Hey, this is not over. They're still clawing their way back into this. 21k gold lead. It's expanded a bit, but, you know, little by little, Vici, they're getting their eyes online. Ori's forced to spin the buyback, but they'll have BKB soon.
Okay. You're trying to give me some hope here, Kyle. So what are the chances? Late game, Vici Gaming, can they win this against...
Define late game.
What timing is the best timing for Vici to win?
If we're still in this game at maybe 70 minutes,
okay,
I think they've got a pretty good shot.
So you're saying when batshit crazy items drop from neutrals,
well, it's got to be
changing items. That's
no. It's about IG running out of item slots.
Okay.
You still can't buy a 7th, so you consider Doom already almost maxed out. Same with the Arc Warden. You need time for them to like catch up, right? Because if you have 9 items, however, that's where we also perhaps get to a point. I can't believe we haven't seen this. I want to see Courier Gaming.
Yeah, sure. I would slightly counter your point about not being able to buy slots. You can buy both Moonshard and Aghanim slots.
Sure.
You know?
But you know what you can't buy? Woodland Striders. Did you see that video of the game? They're getting base rushed. The Courier Woodland Striders creating a defensive forest around the throne, preserving their base long enough to actually turn it around and go back and win.
Amazing.
It could happen. What's the win probability right now? See, look at that.
Either a good question or a bad question. I'm not sure which. 7% is...
I'll take that.
Maybe more than I would have given Vici Gaming at this point. I'm not sure.
But you never know. It's always that one shot, that one opportunity. You turn IG to spaghetti if they clump up. They had that 3-man Wyvern ulti, but there was no Kunkka in sight. Ori was boxed out by Kaka. And JT put himself on the cliff. He's not stuck there. He's got a blink. And spider legs. God, that's a great Doom item.
He's a hungry boy. He wants to eat something.
Be a great EG item, too. Anytime Arteezy hits spider legs, I feel like if I'm a fan, I'm breathing a sigh of relief.
Can't get sprouted. Can't get clipped. Life is good. Already Doom DPS. Emo.
Oh, tier 3?
Nice. Not the tier 3, finally. It's giving them Tempest double gold, but it will also give IG Shrine gold. So, make of that will. Roshan spawn time is coming up soon. Soon. EKB for the Arc Warden. So now his Tempest double can run at the base a little bit more effectively.
Oh, hey, can you give away Vambraces after you make it?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
That's pretty solid. I just realized the implications of that because it also changes the bonus attribute based on the hero that's holding it, right?
No.
Hero that makes it.
No. It's based off of how you built the Vambrace. If you build it with red bands, it stays. That's what you meant.
I'm trying to think of the implications.
You just worded it poorly.
So if I buy Wraith Bands, I'm the support, and I make a Vambrace, I can just hand it to my carry?
Yeah.
Effectively giving him 1,000 net worth.
Most people do the opposite, which is if they get the Vambrace, they'll build it out of Wraith Bands, or not Wraith Bands, but Bracers or Null Talisman. So
that's another item that's stronger than you realize just because of the net worth factor. Like if you're a Morphling and you have 2 Wraith Bands and you just get a Vambrace, you effectively buy an item slot and lose 1,000 net worth, which is the dream because, kill gold is mostly calculated on
Search, fine, fly. Just being a madman when it comes to diving in. There's no vision up there. He just keeps on jumping in, seeing if he can find somebody out of position. No need to do that, though, my friend, because you've got the opportunity to take Roshan. That is our... it's going to spawn... Is that Aegis and Cheese? I've lost track of Roshans. Just Aegis and Cheese.
This game goes on much longer. I might lose track of more.
The longer games go,
what would happen?
It gives you more learning opportunities about neutral items.
At what point?
I was shocked, by the way, when you told me what Nethershell did. Really? You just asked me about Vambrace.
Wait, well, I
knew exactly the stats on Nethershell, but I had no idea Vambrace worked. How does this work with you, Kyle? Did you only study out?
I deliberately try to keep myself in the dark about certain things so that I can learn with the viewers. It feels a lot more educational, I think, if the teacher and the student are in the same position.
I don't think that's how schools work, Kyle.
Well, I lived in America, Cap, so...
Well, kids, let's open up this textbook. We're going to learn together. I don't know what the shit has happened.
There was this, bless her heart, really sweet lady, Mrs. Athulius. She taught my sophomore year science class. She had absolutely no control. We were terrible, terrible teenagers. And there's this one day she effectively said, you know, if you guys don't want me to teach, well, let's see how you do it. And I was like, oh, I'll teach the class. And that Friday, I taught the class. And let me tell you, my lesson plan was not fully fleshed out, but I gave it my all.
Let me guess, you threw a lot of quotes at these kids.
Nope, I printed a bunch of stuff off the internet and wrote on the whiteboard.
Well, that's what Vici Gaming is doing right now, is they scramble to figure out a way to hold against IG, who has just taken a range barracks, and they still have not found their opening. In fact, well, if anything, IG just found an opening. Getting a free kill onto Wyvern, who does have a buyback. But they're like poking at IG, hoping that something's gonna break here, but instead it's just Vici Gaming heroes. They keep on breaking. Another kill, 2 buybacks, but a melee barracks still dead, and Vici Gaming still unable to find an opening here. BKB activated by Monkey King, so he doesn't have that, but you can't even deal with this Tempest double. Emo, his illusion is single-handedly beating the team to death. The Winter's Curse, okay, that's gonna go out. EYW still down. Boat on to 2, that's controlling them. Flyfly still has Tempest double as well as the Wukong's man. Vici Gaming, they gotta get out, but they can't get out because now the Fiend's grip is holding yours in place. Enough for Emo to be able to get that 1 kill. Doomed up, and now he's like, that's it, I'm out. It's 38 minutes of this. I'm tired of losing. Let's just go on to game 3.
Yep. They have honestly respect for playing it out as long as they did, just banking on perhaps that big mistake that perhaps could have propelled them to a win, but now, this is one of those scenarios where I think winning this second game is actually a big edge for IG because, you know, they lost quick and easy. Vici knew they were on the back foot effectively the entire game, and 40 minutes later they finally topped out.
Dire team pick. Dire team ban.
I wouldn't be surprised to see Vici Gaming ban that out.
The only problem with that Vengeful would be the Lich right now,
Yes.
right? So you would have two heroes that are pretty good being position 5, but not really decent at position 4. And you can greed out a little bit with Venge and just rush that Helm of Dominator as position 4, but even then in the laning stage you're not really strong, so...
And if we saw Kaka in the Shaker previous game, I wouldn't mind seeing that again. And Morph Shaker still...
Morph Shaker
still
falls.
Excellent, yeah.
And I do like the Morphling, because we talked about, you know, getting that dispel. Guess what? You now have the Abba yourself if you really want. You just swap into him, and now you have the shield thing as well. It's really good.
And they instantly banned the OD, which is considered one of the best counters to the Morphling. Also, Slark is already out of the game, so they don't have a chance to pick that up. The cores that are left remaining for Vici Gaming, obviously there's PL, which is definitely an option. But
I really
still have...
I just said I really like this opening 2 from IG compared to Vici. Usually it's like I wait for the whole draft, but I'm like, these first 2, I think they've like not out-drafted them yet, but it just looks way better.
I agree.
Maybe it's because you have a Lich. I don't know.
Yeah, you just see the Lich and you don't want to play the game.
Yeah, you're just like, if you're the off laner too, you're like...
Just get me out instantly. You don't want to play versus that hero. It's no fun.
No fun. And Dota has to be fun.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if, I mean, the teams, I'm sure they agree in a
you
way.
have fun.
But you know what the point is, right? The way that they're drafting is to make sure that the other team does not have fun. That's the whole point of the game, is to make the other team miserable, which is very
There are
good.
some certain heroes that really do excel at doing that.
Yeah.
Some heroes can kill you, but alright, you outplayed me, whatever.
Yeah.
But some heroes suck out your soul, like this Lich. He just comes on the lane and he destroys you mentally.
He no longer has to sacrifice as a spell, but he still does it.
But, yeah.
Tell us how you really feel, guys. My goodness.
And there is the PL ban. I like it.
Please tell me more.
Right? I don't know,
PL
support
ban
player,
is-
just seeing the slow death is like the worst for me. Like a Tinker TPing in, and you know that you can't get away fast enough, and he's just
Goodbye.
going over to you.
Nope. See you later.
Those destroy my soul, personally, but... So what's left then for, you know, like meta stuff? I know we've seen a lot of like
Vici Gaming.
Bloodseeker and stuff, but I don't know if
Let's
you
go
want to
Ricky Maru.
I think
Let's go
the
back.
only ones playing Ricky is EG, and I mean, they won one game with it, and then they lost, and then they haven't picked it since.
Like ever since the minor,
No one plays it
obviously
as well.
in Asia it was played a lot, Ricky, but ever since the minor it's picked up in pubs quite often.
Yes.
And the hero definitely can be strong. He's a little bit weak in the laning stage, but later on he can just dominate.
And you can put him middle. I watched literally known in a pub. He played Ricky versus Razor and won as the Ricky. Obviously, it's probably because he outclassed the other player, but like watching what he did with like the disjoints and stuff was really cool. I doubt they'll pick it, but I wouldn't hate it. They might honestly just go Razor again on Vici.
Do you like that though?
Not especially.
Maybe if it's mid-Razor.
That's not as bad. But then you actually Razor does pretty good versus Morphling, so you don't even want to swap that. Timber.
Timber ban.
Makes it so this Abba won't have a terrible lane, since Timber is one of the few who does better in the early, obviously, once you get points in that E, not having too much fun.
They already have some catch with the Rubik. They go with obviously they go with the Elder Titan. How
Against a Morphling? Yeah, against the Morphling.
Why is that an obvious?
natural order because of your passive. He literally has to itemize differently because he doesn't get armor from agility.
He needs to get like AC or something. He needs to get some crazy stuff, yeah.
I mean, he probably won't. He'll still go the normal route, but that basically leaves him very susceptible to just right-clicking him to that.
So because it nullifies the armor from his natural stats, which is what Morphling gets all his agility from, you need to itemize different.
Now you could combo Elder Titan with something on mid that benefits a lot from stacks, because how you want to be playing this Elder Titan if you are position 4 is, which might not be the case.
It's going to be DY. It's 100% DY.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So never mind. Usually you have some hero that benefits from stacks, then you stack a lot with Elder Titan, but it's going to be Rubik plus Abaddon right lane.
That's a scary lane too. But it's versus the Lich Morph, right? We already kind of know that top lane. Lich Morph versus Abba Rubik.
I like the Elder Titan too, just because it's one of the best heroes that kind of helps you control Roche. So just having that presence there and knowing that, you know, he can just throw the spirit and doesn't have to physically be in there, it's going to be a problem if they decide to go for some early Roches or whatnot.
And they are using all of their time.
That's game number 3. Of course they're using all their time.
There it is. All right.
The Shaker again. There's a lot of spells for this Rubik to steal. That's what I see right now.
There is.
Gyrocopter. Okay.
We're going back a patch, huh?
We're going back a patch. We're picking a gyro into Morphling. We're picking a gyro without a Wisp as well. Morphling, even though he's countered by Elder Titan, he's gonna have a blast just turning into Gyrocopter and flacking them all down, right? I don't know how I feel about this particular pick.
Question.
Yes.
If Morphling morphs into Gyrocopter and uses the flak cannon from the Gyrocopter,
yes,
can Rubik steal the flak cannon back? Can we have 3 spells of everything in this game?
You weren't able to before. I don't. Maybe you can now. Like it stole and it didn't give you anything. Oh, I recall. It could have been changed.
That would be disappointing because it would be very hard.
Yeah, it would be hype too. If the Rubik's doing like 40 damage.
Yeah, was he just imitating the way Enchantress strikes? Yep. Like I'm gonna. That.
We could have 2 the Enchantress. You must become the Enchantress.
No, we couldn't. That's one of the. No, we couldn't. But we could have a lot of shields. We could definitely have a lot of shields.
There's gonna be. I like the enchant pick. We obviously haven't seen them play that much. We saw EG played in both their games in the offlane. Ramses when you do so much damage. Even at level 1 now that you get impetus at level 1, you harass hard.
You get 8% on level 1. You also have that heal to work with. It's decent. You have the dispel too. Versus Gyro, you are a little bit susceptible because as Enchantress, her biggest weakness is she's squishy, right? And she compensates with the heals and the untouchable. However, you can't go for untouchable right now until you're level 6. And Gyro with his big ass nuke, I believe he can deal with the Enchantress. Shaker is going to have to be in positions to defensively, like.
I thought you were gonna say with his big ass gun, but I like big ass nuke too.
Close enough.
They ban the Razor.
Yep. Does that then take off a little bit of pressure on the mid lane if you have an Earthshaker that has to kind of babysit like the Enchantress?
It should, as long as the lanes go correctly, right? That's what we saw.
It's always if the lanes go correct.
I feel like last game bottom lane went wrong, which allowed him to roam middle. So.
I don't think it's the worst lane for Ench as well because the Elder Titan is there to support. It's not some nuker that's going to harass her out. She can just hit, move back, hit.
I'm just going to watch her HP and make sure that she's always got the sprites up.
Viper is a pretty good ban here because of the Nether Toxin later on. It's also one of the best heroes versus Ench versus Shaker. Morphling, yeah, you can turn into Viper and spit back at him, so it kind of ruins him. But still, it would be a good pickup for Vici.
The ranged Fury swipes on Viper are just so crazy.
I was going to say Vici was going to take Kunkka. That's why they banned the Razor. But IG is like, nah. Even though this hero's 0 for 2 in this series, we're giving it another go.
We're giving it another go, and hopefully we won't see another Meteor Hammer on our side.
Kunkka was not the problem.
I don't think Kunkka ever really is the problem. Maybe that I build, but I think Kunkka's all like, because you do get dumpstered in the lane, but all you have to do is get level 6, gank a lane, and you're right back in the game.
But you don't get dumpstered by many heroes, right? That's also the case.
Is there a chance we Monkey King him back here?
That is the question.
I don't hate
horrible,
it.
right?
Pretty good tempo.
I really don't
be able to help make some space. You line it up with the Elder Titan ultimate as well.
The Earthshaker never wants to blink in an ulti inside of the Monkey King ulti unless you guarantee the kill.
And Ori knows what it feels like to play Kunkka against the Monkey King.
The only problem would be you don't have that potential to rotate with your support cap, right? As they had in that last game.
Yeah.
In that last game, you had Monkey and you had Shaker, and they constantly just collapsed in that Kunkka. In this game, Rubik and Elder Titan, they can help out, but they're not as powerful.
That's tough, because now do you want like a hero that's good for the game? Like, I kind of like Lina here, but the Kunkka should do decent versus the Lina, but then once you get the late game, this Lina will shred the Morphling. It's
and
kind of like
as well.
Yeah, it's like
strong.
Huskar,
yeah.
Okay.
Does Huskar tick all your boxes?
It ticks one box. It's that cheese pick that you just have to deal with somehow, and now this becomes a Huskar game, just like an Alchemist game, and it's also pretty good versus Kunkka. In that last match, I called Huskar versus the Kunkka. They went with the Monkey King. Now Vici Gaming take a different route and they go, hello. They go with the Huskar instead. I think it's a good pickup for them.
I agree. I would definitely favor Vici Gaming's draft right now.
Final words, Moxie?
I hate to be a bandwagoner, but I'm really liking the last Aster because you go with that. You just get
Earthshaker 5 man.
going for
see if
it.
Kaka can carry IG Gaming, or if Huskar can do that instead. Let's go to Captain Kyle.
Down to this, the upper bracket game between Vici Gaming and IG. Game 3, which one of these teams going to the semifinals and which one is dropping down to the treacherous lower bracket? Kyle, who do you think?
Well, we've seen Kunkka lose 2 games so far in this series. I would not be surprised to see it lose a third because of that last pick, Huskar. But more importantly, I think just the confidence of Vici Gaming is sort of demonstrating by picking this gyro into the Morphling that they are planning on taking this game in the mid game.
We already saw the Vici Gaming versus EG Game 2, where they had Night Stalker off lane, I know that much. And they had fast cores, and they just ran over EG in 25 minutes. Vici Gaming's going for a similar game plan here.
Yep. And it's also ET versus Morphling. Like, even into the late game, you're going to remove all the magic armor, of course, and more importantly, yeah, sure, you might have a billion agility and like 40 armor. It is all removed by ET with maxed out natural. And,
yeah, if this is a Morphling to like go a BKB and you're like, I want other items.
Exactly, and the problem is if you go for something like a BKB, you're not going to be accelerating as much. It's to me all on this JT Enchantress. That's your answer to the Huskar. We saw EG win with it twice. This hero, certainly a lot stronger than I think most teams give it credit for. You've got plenty of catch in front of it with the Kunkka Shaker. It's just a matter of, is your laning phase effective enough? You're going to be bottom against an Abaddon. You can dispel the shield, but of course it would still proc and deal damage to you. As I believe we'll have an aggro tri-lane from Vici, but perhaps a lane swap already underway.
This is what, this is similar to Game 2, except for this time around, Vici Gaming got the lanes they wanted.
Yeah.
Right? They don't want the Enchantress versus Gyrocopter ranged matchup, because that's actually, it used to be Gyro countered the Enchantress back when Untouchable was the level 1 ability you could get, but now, due to Impetus, you actually don't want to play a ranged hero against Enchantress anymore.
And I'm just so hyped to watch this mid matchup as well. Ori's Huskar is, in my opinion, the best in the world. His laning prowess on this hero is fabled. Like I said, back at TI, he took down a Viper, handily first blooded him, absolutely dominated him. Now he gets a ward kill too. Already off to a nice start up top. Just got to get lane control and then just static, really, because Lich Morph have no real method of gaining it back, or alternatively push it into tower and then look to dive with your ET Rubik. So far, it looks like they're going to play for the lane equilibrium.
Look at Emo. Look how far away he is from the creep wave. As he hits him with the torrent, he tries to go for the 2 CS, but sadly his Tidebringer did so little damage, he wasn't able to get either kill. It's just kind of how you have to play. These Kunkkas. Once upon a time, Kunkka was just the master of the mid lane, but now all the heroes that are good against him are very meta. Yang, who had pre-planned an escape here, had dug a hole previously, opens another little section up so he can get away.
Yeah, I like that they got the Satyr up. That's arguably the best. I mean, it is the best creep to get, especially in the 2-on-1 scenario, because your whole creep wave and heroes have extra regen, so it's easier to push. They're going to kill the courier up top. Unfortunate.
DY.
And, you know, it's interesting to note real fast that while Chen was nerfed in the sense that you can't take over those higher level creeps right away, Enchantress doesn't suffer from that problem, and perhaps part of the reason we're going to see it continue to rise in popularity, because even Doom, you can't eat that big Satyr any longer. You're the only hero in Dota right now that can harness the power of that Satyr, and it's a huge nuke and the regen. It's really nice.
Oh, Ori!
He's got a fairy.
He's going a little bit too far forward. All right, fairy fire, he'll be good. Emo knows how dangerous this Ori Huskar is and the turnaround potential.
And look at the start of this game, Cat. We've seen this before. Oh, no.
Is he dead? Or he's chasing him down. He's going to get 2 more shots. The fairy fire won't protect him from the fire. That will burn him to death and give Ori the first blood.
Have we seen this before, Cap? Kunkka mid getting absolutely obliterated. This time, no shaker even necessary. Ori already 16-9, plus the first blood. Yeah, this is Ori Dota on his Huskar in a favorable matchup. Top lane's getting decimated. This more fly rather is next to no game, and now we might actually be in some trouble. No way for him.
Go back into missile. That's going to be way too much damage for him.
ET wasn't even necessary.
Yeah. That was just him completely underestimating the damage. Maybe Fly hasn't played the most Morphling lately because there was some of those nerfs to your phase shift, but Yang, he is the only person on Vici Gaming who's having a little bit of a rougher lane. He's still doing great in CS, but he is getting pressured constantly.
Emo, not like this. Not again.
Oh, let's see if he builds a Meteor Hammer this time. Maybe this time he rushes Axe.
He stacks the Ancients, trying to like give himself some food for later. But anytime, the one thing I will say I love about this patch is that the mid matchup is effectively almost always a 1v1.
Yeah.
It's hard to lose it now that everyone has their own courier, but if you're forced out of lane like this, it is devastating, because effectively the Huskar, because he gets all the denies for free, is getting an extra CS per wave.
Yeah.
And it's just so critical to get that early game XP. Huskar's going to run away with this at this rate, and unfortunately, look at these cores of IG. Who's supposed to go middle? This was a 22-pick Huskar. He has incredible matchups against every hero, and top lane is also a disaster.
Okay, he does survive, Eurus. Cops a shot for the tower, but not enough for him to back down from Fly either. They don't even have a support to go mid. You know, sometimes you have those Winter Wyverns or something that can go mid and just soak experience, but Emo, he has to go mid. No one else can. And that just results in easy kills.
Well, nice job down bottom. Again, a great spawn, the Satyr. If they had only given the Abaddon a sentry or ward, I hope Yang actually brings one down bottom. If you block that hard camp, the Enchantress's impact is significantly limited. He'll TP out late. But the thing is, even though he's dying, he's still using his mana pool before, so his CS is keeping up as well as his XP. So it's not as if Yang is completely out of this game. Unfortunately, Emo is currently in some very serious trouble. 1400 HP on this Huskar already, and yeah, there's a shaker here, but he's effectively just ensuring that he can't get tower dove. Not really able to set up a kill.
Yeah, big difference between a Kunkka, who has to kind of like suicide lane and feeds a lot of experience over to the Huskar.
Yeah.
Then an Abaddon, who really just needs levels and a basic amount of farm to be an effective hero.
Look at this, they're just camping mid with both supports, because up top the Gyrocopter, really no threat. They've got 2 wards placed in enemy jungle too. I really like that from Vici, because it's mid and top that are really having troubles, so you've got to expect Kaka to be playing in that area. So they're just trying to track his movements, make sure neither one of these cores get caught off guard by a rotation. He was so effective in game 2. Yang, sure, you're left on an island, but you can kind of expect the Abaddon to die, and he doesn't really impact much.
He got out of position, stayed a little bit too far forward. The 2 supports rotating over, should catch him out. He's going to be slowed down. He has to run north here. The supports are coming in, so maybe he could somehow loop back to them if he could only juke. Whoa, the stop coming in, doing a lot of damage. It looks like Ori's going to die. With Ori here, they might be able to kill Fly as well until the boat actually comes in. Ori taking so much damage, so much physical damage, they may just be able to overwhelm him. In fact, they do. A 3-man stomp from DY will help him PW get back, except for the Fire Spears woke up Emo, so he's doing a little dance, a little jig, because all of a sudden, he's back, baby. He just finds a Torrent on a PYW as well.
Kaka Dota ran the only path there was no real vision through river, as you Becoming active too. You asked for a way back into this for IG. That so many kills and now the full recovery. That is unbelievable. And yeah, you can see there's just a great rotation from Kaka. The block, if that doesn't, there's going to be enough time for the supports of Vici to be there to save, but it forces Juris to run all the way towards top, which kind of sets up for the follow-up kills as well, because now the supports have to go all the way into no man's land. Really nice TP as well from Emo. He got level 6 and immediately he comes straight towards mid with the 2-man torrent boat combo. Or a little over-aggressive there. His death was very to the team of IG. If he just stands middle as an example, he's to half HP.
Right.
Instead,
once again, you notice like PYW is the Rubik stuck around when they eat. From save a friend syndrome?
Yeah.
The most. Like, well, that's over. PYW, he sticks around thinking, maybe I can kill somebody or something.
But we only really notice it when it leads to that exit bonus kill, right? When it saves an ally, it's less so because they, he gets away, cool. But a lot of times, Vici do receive benefit from that play style.
It's definitely one of those risk rewards where it's pretty even. Half the time, they're saving somebody in a really clutch play.
Yang bottom in some trouble. Oh, nice block again by Kaka.
Oh, and he turns around, rents the silence as well with DY coming in. That would have been a disaster for IG, so it's good they back up. But look at old Ori, he's coming over. Had a kill on JT. You said this is going to be one of the important heroes for IG. They needed to have a good game in a rotation like this. Certainly going to shut that down, but first he's going to get a kill onto DY before he potentially goes down here. Centaur coming over.
Yeah, it was really important that they land that kill on JT there. If he escapes, that's a ton of wasted time for Ori. I would have liked to see him take out mid-tower before he got so heavily aggressive, but at least you take out the key hero on the enemy side. The one having the best game. Now you're going to just continue to farm. Armlet, pick up, will be huge timing. Fly.
Oh, Fly got a little bit low there, but more something. Ori's coming in. He's going to be able to go for the support, but the knockback there of a full morphed up strength Morphling knocks it backwards. Not good enough. Looks like Emo. He's going to be dying here to the fire spears, and they're going to turn around with the impetus damage doing so much. Ori closed the distance, so it's a disarm as well. JT needs 2 more shots in to be able to finish him off, and it does manage to get it, but he might die in return. One hit from Eurus isn't quite enough as the heal just barely offsets the burning spear damage.
That was actually so sick from Emo there to turn back into the rocket. If he if he dies before the rocket lands, it's just going to swap targets on one of his allies. That could have been the difference maker in that engagement. Instead, he accepts death, and then they manage to kill Ori as well. Another big death. Like, if he's making this play, if he takes mid-tower before these rotations, he has an armlet in that fight. He's not going to die, but now they've grabbed 2 kills on him. Sure, you're still in smooth sailing for Vici. You've got your Huskar way ahead of the game, but it's not at a point where it's so significant that you can just start marching down lanes with your Abaddon in tow, killing all these tier 1s. You have hope now as IG. You can turn some of this around.
Oh, just lead off with an Echo Slam. An Invis rune for Kaka. Finds a second kill. An easy one on DY. That you can ride off, but a kill on Eurus.
He has Arcanes, and I like the choice. Whenever you're ahead as a 4-position Earthshaker, you want to ensure that by the time you have Blink, you've got maxed out Aftershock, because it ensures that your combo is going to do that max damage. You already have Arcane's Windlace. There it is. Maxed out E, and as soon as he has Blink, he's going to be he can straight up win fights by himself.
It's the best farming build as well for an Earthshaker when it comes to hitting neutrals and such. All that space where IG was clumped up as 4 at top lane did lead to a lot of damage at bottom, but not enough to take the tower.
Yeah. I want to see Ori just plant himself middle, get your armlet. You can see Eurus, surprising he's rushing for the Maelstrom here. Typically when you get the treads, you see drums to compensate for the lack of move speed buff. And in addition, just a bit of stats to let you play really aggressive early on. But the Maelstrom rush, combined with how aggressive they've played, is a little discombobulated. Yang, though, he is here looking to dive Fly.
Radiant's bottom
Fly forced the waveform over. Oh, ball coming in. Ori, he much decided this is going to throw every single spell they had to make sure Huskar stays in the grave and doesn't heal back up. 7-11, 12 minutes in. JT uses that space to be able to take the bottom tower as they trade out top as well.
And there again, you can see the dangers of playing too aggressive early on, because once you're punished, like how many of these deaths are effectively just because Ori doesn't have his armlet yet?
Yeah.
If you're going to go for all this build up early on, the treads, double bracer, it's a lane dominator and it's damage increase so that you can kill these structures, get the armlet up, and now you're incredibly strong. But without it, that was just a quick Kunkka combo into a Lich TP. Like, there wasn't anything special about that movement from IG, but they once again take out the win condition of Vici Gaming.
Sometimes, you know, you want to help out your team, but the best way to help them is just keep farming and hit the biggest power spike you can. Ori is still top net worth, though. After all of that, JT second in net worth. That's because he's been doing what we're talking about and just kind of like sitting in a lane, continuing to farm. He's now level 10 with the big magic distance buff up. And he's also going to be going for a Hooded Defiance because he knows between the Huskar and the Gyrocopters, there's a lot he's going to have to contend with.
15 down onto Ori. He's going for the aggro build, and Eurus, he's doing just fine. I'll have max fly. Not something to fool with. There's the armlet finally finished for Ori, but you've got your Gyro going for this farming build, and still all of these tier 1s up, the critical ones at least. Yeah, you've taken the one up top as Vici, but it's the mid tower you've got to go for. If Kaka gets a blink before that goes down, Vici's going to be hard pressed to find space there. And it is a morph in a game against Gyrocopter. We've seen this matchup play out in the past. You're certainly just fine as Morphling.
Radiant's middle tower.
Yang.
What's happening?
He is determined to push Fly back here. And it looks like Fly is going to be forced away. As Yang will finally be able to win superiority for this tower, but JT, telekinesis pulled back in, Fisher stolen to finish him off. That is a kill streak going to Ori.
Perhaps we should have brought that up as well. You know, it's not something we see too often anymore, but Rubik versus... Brother, you're going to get Fisher. And,
Nice.
on an instant cast Fisher is pretty ridiculous. Only level 2, of course, but still. As the Maelstrom on Gyro, he'll start to accelerate soon. Kaka, he'll have that blink in just 100 gold. A nice winner's heart for Eurus just to get a little more early stat, and BKB will be his next choice. Not surprised there. Their draft is composed to try and win this game around the 20 to 25 minute mark. Maybe you're not going high ground, but you're carving yourself out one of those game-winning advantages that allows you to Roche, walk towards the tier 2s, and with luck, trap IG in base, much like they did to you in that game too.
BYW trying to get the telekinesis and chain stun into preventing the X marks the spot.
Yeah, that's really nice. That's something that he did in the first game as well. Obviously, they got crushed, but he obviously knows what he's doing in the sense that you time your boat against these silence heroes, stun heroes, so that it lands perfectly with just the natural pullback. So it's impossible for the enemy hero to disrupt your combo because they use it early. Well, you just don't boat first, you torrent, and then boat on top, and you just X them back, no problem.
Yang's here because it is a catapult push, and while it's really important for Vici Gaming to take the IG mid tower, Vici Gaming want to make sure they protect their own mid as well.
And you can see the timing they're looking for. Already with the Vlads, pipe next item, Ori going armlet into halberd, Maelstrom, BKB on the gyro. Once they all grab those second items, the lineup just gets so formidable. Their team fight absolutely insane. And this is dead Emo.
Yeah, Emo missed the torrent.
Pupils get for the Morphling, that's great.
Oh, the Fisher block to the wrong side. That's unfortunate. If anything, Kaka could be in trouble as well, but fortunately he wasn't blocked off or anything like that.
Or he grabs a free kill on a roaming Lich.
Dog, give that Ironwood tree away to somebody.
Yeah.
You're not going to build it.
Oh, it's such a great item. I love that.
He's had that for like a solid 8 minutes or something.
Yeah, even sell the bracer for it, right? It actually would be ideal because it lowers your own net worth and then provides more stats. And another benefit of the Huskar, of course, you immediately can kill Roshan.
Yeah, especially with in a bad, their big Roach taking hero.
Yep.
Here, just march down mid, right?
Yep, there's a few relationships we're looking at versus Kaka. It's very important that Kaka continues to cover his Fisher with his W, and we want to see how the ET versus the Kunkka matchup plays out, because both heroes want a combo break, specifically the Elder Titan, and Ori is the problem. You need a Halberd up ASAP on this Kunkka, and Morphling just trying to buy some time. There it is. M-Claw as well, one of the best items for a Kunkka.
Yeah, that's pretty sick. They have a really aggressive lane ward here that's going to be able to spot these heroes. Kaka actually blinking full does manage to hit the Fisher. Echo Slam into the the boat's still coming in as well. Eurus is not dead yet, but the Chain Frost is bouncing around a little bit. Yang is trying to help him out as much as possible, and I don't think Kaka has the damage anymore. Eurus, he's tanky enough to fly through it all, and now they're going to be able to get the turn.
By Yang and PYW, you can't, if you're ideally Kaka wants to Fisher first, blink forward Echo, but wasn't applicable there. They steal the Fisher, immediately there's the follow-up stun, and then you've got Abaddon just for the heal shield. It looks like there's going to be the damage, but it's just so much sustain. And now you just march down mid. As you say, it's not just easy to do Roche, but killing towers with Huskar Abaddon, that's a breeze.
Oh yeah, I love me an Abaddon or Centaur that like takes their safe lane that just runs at mid. So you're eventually going to take it, no matter what. They do manage to get the pick off on PYW at bottom, while Fly farms top, giving up their tower in the process.
Yeah, because so as soon as he uses blink there, this fight's pretty much lost, because the steal comes out just before the dunk. You've got to be able to blink dunk Fisher. Fisher blink dunk doesn't go down that way. Yang with a ton of sustain coming out. You're going to pick up both supports. It's a lot of space for the Morph, though. You know, you check out the network. The laning phase, it did not seem as if the game would be in reach for IG, but still in spitting distance of the lead. Morphling with two excellent items to find in the jungle. The People's Gift effectively turns into agility because of the bonus strength it provides, and not again.
Fisher was just enough. He's taking some damage in the fountain, but he should be fine. Hey, he's going to have Glimmer Cape too, thanks to that save from the Earthshaker. Yep. Top lad that he is. Be careful. Roll down for Yang. He still has his ultimate, so he will quickly heal up to full, and Ori feels like he's got the free space to be able to jump in. After all, he still has the Aegis. He's got a Heaven's Halberd as well.
That felt like it was just a poke. Yeah, there's no way you're trying to seriously initiate a team fight by starting with Abaddon as your target. But if you notice, it sucked Vici's heroes towards the mid lane, and IG were then the faster ones to rotate out, collect jungle camps, and now they're going to split both outposts and runes. Under the circumstances, I think you're happy with that.
Yeah, I can dig it. BKB coming up real quick for Eurus with the Vampire Fangs in the back pocket as well. He can, if he gets an Aghanim Scepter, he'll actually have some, I think the Stratocopter will scale better than most other Gyro games because he's against Morphling and Enchantress, both of which do suffer to kind of that Maelstrom Ags build and just the sustain aspect.
And the way this draft wants to play is to just go full. You don't want to allow IG to play in the backlines with their morph. And again, Ollie, man, even with that Glimmer, I think he's just going to die to Ori. Maybe stop. Yeah.
He mega did.
But the third or fourth time he's just found a roaming Huskar.
Okay, more finished strength. That is going to put you at 2,300 HP.
And he maintains that after he's still.
Yeah.
That's pretty nice. Won't be able to get many auto attacks off, but certainly harder to take down. And now the entire lineup of Vici Gaming finds themselves above 1,300 HP, with the exception of DY, who just has no stat items yet. Ench with the pipe fully completed. Be nice. You kind of need one for the AoE plus magic resist against an ET.
Right.
There's just so much magical DPS that can come out if all of your armor is removed. There's the pipe for Yang, so that'll even out that disparity. And Kaka with the blink along with Flyfight. They've got the E-Blade up in a moment. I like that choice on the Morph. It's not a game to go for anything really slow like a Linken's, and this allows them to perhaps find enough magical bursts to take out Gyro, to take out Huskar before they get that BKB off. You just got to be so careful, because when you have two BKB cores in Abaddon, it's like you can never really guarantee a proper 100-0 initiation. cleanse right into spell immunity, and you've got problems just like we do as Eurus throws out a pause.
Joined by Yang. We'll see some drawings on the field. Looks like they want to go and just run at some heroes because they have a limited amount of time to use that Aegis they picked up not so long ago. And after all, they've got their BKB. This is a really big power spike. I think you just go for all 3 towers eventually, right?
Yeah. Well, it's incredibly limited considering the Huskar is actually currently under the effects of Aegis regeneration. So that timing is lost. However, well,
you saw the BKB time.
Exactly. That's the one that really mattered. The Aegis is really just a tool to ensure you collect map control to get time for the BKBs. Now you go smoke and look for an engagement.
Oh, picking up a haste. And that's a good way to be able to start a fight, but now he needs some stuns to actually get there as well. They're going to find Emo. Emo's a great kill as long as they have a stun to stop his teleport, which they do.
And now straight on to the tower.
They have not been able to build up that much. They've been controlling the game really well, but the net worth lead is not that much in their favor, so collecting all these tower kills will finally...
That's one of my favorite moves. It's something Old Liquid and the current Crow stack of Nigma still do, which is the 4-1 smoke. You show your strongest hero in lane. It lulls the enemy side into a full sense of security, and then all of a sudden one of their cores is caught. And you collect bonus objectives. Huskar take bottom tower and now has the wave pushed in. You take tier 2 mid. Effectively, because you show the Huskar, you find the kill and are going to claim 2 extra towers. It's a really cool maneuver. You don't see many of the tier 2, tier 3s do it because it feels risky, right? You're trying to take a team fight without Huskar. This is suicide, but
it's also like the enemy team, in order to punish it, they would have to call a bluff, right?
Yeah.
They would have to willingly go and gank a Huskar, as you said, the strongest hero that they have on their team.
With a BKB.
And just hope that they don't have, they're not smoked behind, they're not currently sitting in that triangle area around him or something like that. It would take some serious cojones to just blind call they are smoked and not near that Huskar.
It's especially difficult because it's, of all heroes, it's a Huskar. Right? And throughout this game, it's just so much easier to play this mid game for Vici because if Yang isn't showing, how do you initiate on a core? If it's the gyro that gets jumped, he just pops the BKB in a second. And if it's the Huskar, I mean, he's going to have a, what is that, Satanic en route? He's just a Morbid Mask away from it. They do pick up the kill on PYW, but will you get more?
Well, might just be able to get this tower, but the stun down, and they're going to try and get the telekinesis. Well, still agility for him, but the TB doesn't finish in time, but the Fade Bolt gets there to bring Fly down.
Oh, and they steal the Frost Arm. Are you kidding me?
Ooh, that.
With a Huskar on your team?
Yeah.
Do you just push is the question. I think you can wait. You're just 500 gold away from Satanic.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know how you kill Ori any longer. Again, it's because of Yang. If it's just a naked Huskar, he probably has to buy a BKB here, but because you've got the Abaddon behind you, you have the luxury of just going for all these plus stat items. The kill window for IG, it's just so small, and if you blow everything, we've talked about this in the past, these heroes like Slurk, PL, Alchemist of the past, Huskar now, they're so strong because you have to kill them to force them off your base, but you need to commit so much that if they don't die, you just get wiped.
Emo? That's gotta get out of here. You're not killing anybody, my friend.
Please TP. Oh, he has no TP.
That's no TP. I think his TP got canceled. Well, that's a sad life.
Oh, that. Don't tip, drop the G's. That's one thing I wish Dota had copied over from Heroes of Newerth was the ability to smack somebody down.
Oh, you could smack down.
Yeah, think of it as if you tipped someone and then killed them, you would actually drop a dumpster on their corpse and the announcer would have a special voice line, including one by Samuel L. Jackson himself. Valve, I know a guy, we can get you in contact, just think about it.
You know a guy who knows a guy who knows Samuel L. Jackson? Fly. Trying to take top. And slam immediately onto PW. They're going to try and blow him up before Yang can do anything, but they just didn't have enough because they're more strength from earlier.
Oh, he's got Fisher now.
And now he's stolen Fisher, and now Kaka's being slowed down by Yang. He's going to make sure he can't blink away long enough. They're going to be to get the silence up on Kaka, unless the chain's done and for him to be able to blink away. Ooh, he almost died on the Rubik. Again, the Spirit's stopping the blink just in time. He gets so close. Every single time the blink taker gets canceled just before he's able to
Oh,
away.
not again.
Ollie.
Not like this.
Ollie. My boy. just don't TP out anymore, Doc. That's a Huskar. Don't have a stun. What?
Careful, folks. Gotta stay Titanic. Gotta be careful, though.
Yeah, they're gonna try and burst him down real quickly. It is close, and it missed.
The uphill missed the Satanic attack and didn't stick.
No.
That would have almost certainly been enough to save him. The rest of his team was going to be close by.
I mean, first of all, what? Like, they could have just gotten out, right?
I mean, I don't mind it. You're trying to play strong. Again, he feels invincible, right? He's got a Satanic. He just didn't stick. If he sticks after Satanic, I think he lives. But again, you don't expect to uphill miss.
Scrappers, pull up the Huskar desk for me real quick. I need to know. 4 deaths. Well, he shouldn't be feeling invincible in this game. He's definitely overstepped himself too many times.
Nice smoke. Maybe you force a buyback if you find heroes here. And look at this. JT just playing the front lines. He's so tanky thanks to the build. A pupil's a long pipe. You cannot target him. And I love the wolf creep behind him as well. This wolf's going to hit so hard.
Fortunately, they do have the Heaven Halberd builds to deal with this Enchantress. I'm not sure if Yang has completed his, but I know he was going it alongside the Huskar. Yeah, he doesn't have it just yet. Starts to try and swing. They take a peek inside the Roshan pit. Nothing to see there. Now the Huskar's back up, so IG may not feel so confident in trying to push into Vici Gaming anymore.
This game is getting spookier for Vici Gaming. They've got a 6K lead, but it doesn't feel nearly as good as the 1K lead they had about 5 minutes ago. Because the IG lineup has come online. The Enchmorph are starting to be real threats. And that Kunkka, thanks to the bonus Titan Sliver plus Imp Claw, he is a real boy. And even though his net worth says just 11K, thanks to those items, it's much closer to the Huskar than you'd expect. Manta now on the Morph, about to be completed. Very nice item here. And oh, my favorite. A repair kit.
A repair kit when all you're trying to do is just draw out the game some more?
Why not?
That's, I mean, their high defense is already really strong. They're going to try and make the Fissure into telekinesis initiation. They're going to be able to burst it down. That Storm Fissure plus the increase on stun duration from Arcane Supremacy is ruining Fly's life right now.
And that's the downside. I mean, Kaka is one of the best Earth Shakers in Dota, but eventually you're going to give away Fissure. You just can't not, especially when you're playing against Aether Lens Rubik. And it's an instant stun. How long does that even last when it's stolen? That was like the just tail end of it. He had 5 seconds left on the steal duration. Really nice timing for the movement. And what do you know, Roshan up as well. Time to get things going.
They're getting all the lifesteal items, by the way. Paladin Sword, insanely good for both these heroes. I personally thought it was a little bit better on Huskar, but maybe because
he's got Aegis. And it also means that now Gyro, even while stunned, will be able to lifesteal.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Ags. And Telescope now, if you needed an even further, you want to make this game any easier for Rubik, if that were possible. And now you've got past range.
I mean, you've got 2 cores that are ranged as well, so super sick for them.
Don't want to overstate the importance of the neutral items. Of course, both teams always are going to be able to utilize the 3 they get per tier. It's just that I still feel like these heroes like Huskar, Gyro, like the reason you see games ending around this time is because all of a sudden you're not 3 or 4 slots.
Dude, is this worth it? What's to be gained here? You're frustrating, yeah.
Bait,
Yo, I swear to God, if he gets caught because of this.
Oh, if the Spirit had gone straight down. Like, they're already with a creep wave at the tower. That would have been an immediate buyback forced. And love this. Satanic as well onto Eurus. Just continue. You look at all the stuns you're playing against, right? The Gaze, the Kunkka spells, the Shaker combo. Just max out the status resist.
Yeah, a bunch of stuns and a bunch of burst damage. Yeah, Satanic gives you the answer to both.
Oh my god.
Telekinesis, long range. Pull back in. You stole his Fisher too. Kaka. I'm going to have a word with you about these Fisher steals. Some of them are acceptable, but there's just been one too many, and now Vici Gaming have a big advantage. Pushed to the high ground with Yang, leading the way. Doom Thatcher, he's holding on a fly. Does manage to get away from him away, though, but Ollie may not be so lucky. The fire spears rain down on him. Vici Gaming, Ori on the front lines is in a little bit of trouble. Pops Satanic and will be able to keep his Aegis alive. He's going to keep on fighting, too. Goes for JT. Double disarms him. First with the Heaven's Halberd, then with the Q pop. Disarmed again by Yang. He's just sitting here doing nothing. JT, he's waiting for his time to be able to put in some damage. Finally, he's got an opportunity, but he's disarmed again.
Love it. They're just controlling the damage flow. The burst, I think he got the waveform off just before the Fisher lander. That would have been an immediate kill on the Morphling. You've got to respect the reach of Vici Gaming, plus this ET aura, man. All the magic armor just disappearing.
Popped. All right. Nope. Satanic and an Aegis down. Can they do something against Ori here? They lead off at the top, trying to get some damage from the Exodus. They'll be able to keep him in place with the X and Echo Slam. Coming in on yours, but that Satanic allowed him to be able to get off that status resistance, easily popping the BKB and healing up real quickly. But Ori forced to eat the cheese now. Another consumable down, and the tier 3 is still up. IG, they will hold for now.
Back away. You've got, look at the gold they've got saved up on their course. Nearly an AC on Ori, 2,000 on the Elder Titan, but it's more the auras. Like, you combine Elder Titan with these minus armor auras, it gets real scary real fast.
Yep.
And you've just got to respect the reach of Vici Gaming. They're going to have the vision advantage thanks to the ET and the offensive, like just the pure aggression their course can play with, and all of it's just shrine up, and immediately they're smoking back across the field. They know there's no Kaka, and there's heroes showing in lane. Without BKBs, anybody that gets jumped here is going to go down.
Yeah, TD,
Rubik's still
plus Satanic, this is a huge difference in a team fight.
Radiant are scattered.
And keep in mind, it's a Rubik Fisher as well, so it's more like 2.7 seconds, so the 1.75.
Morphling gets his level 20. I'm not sure if that really changes a whole lot for him, because he wants to play more of the back lines. It's hard to fully commit into this Vici Gaming squad. And all JT, man, he's trying to build it into an MKB right now because everyone's got some sort of evasion. You know, eventually Gyrocopter's going to build into a butterfly too, so he needs that answer to the evasion, but what does he do about the disarms?
And there's just not a single hero on the side of IG have any like real plus armor items or auras, so
leading off onto the Morphling's already on the half. He's been bursted. Punch back into Vici Gaming's backline and taken down. 70 seconds.
I want to reiterate, there are no plus armor items. I don't care if you see a Morphling with 33 armor. As soon as he's in range of DY, he's taking pure damage from physical attacks.
They're waiting for this team to overextend, and they can buy back on the Morphling, but Vici Gaming just aren't doing anything, so finally Fly feels like he's been forced to go for it. The Fisher lead off on Ori. Not really blocking his way, though. He'll still retreat.
I take that back. He'll take more than pure damage, Cap, because there's now an Assault Cuirass on the board for Vici Gaming.
Okay.
And you actually need to kill this Elder Titan, but he's playing so far back with the Craggy Coat, with the Glimmer Cape. It's much easier said than done. This whole game is effectively now on Kaka and Fly. They need to find some sort of window to get. They need a pincer. X one of the cores, distract them with a boat combo, and then boom, kill off both supports. Said they're done, because the luxury of these two guys, like PYW's got the Dream Rubik game, Aether Lens, Telescope, Strange out of this world. It's just so difficult. He has 2,500 HP as well, forgot to mention, because he still has all that bonus strength thanks to the Morph Steal from earlier in the game. So you've near immortal supports that must die if you're going to have a realistic chance of killing off the cores. And even if you do that, they're still Yang.
Yeah, I love the fact that you referenced DY and how he's playing so far back. I mean, most Elder Titans, they think to themselves, oh, I got to kind of get up there. But when he's got this Huskar, when he's got a band front line, a Gyrocopter who gets pretty tanky as well, he's really showcasing how to change your game as ET and just how to play like super far back at all times. You don't have to do anything else.
He came up and just made sure that he was there as the Morph was getting attacked. Because again, it's a minus 33 armor presence. And it's really all you've got to do. Expect to see them maybe wait for this third Roche. It'll be spawning anywhere from 3 to 6, or rather 4 to 7 minutes from now. Actually, sorry, 1 to 4 minutes. So much less time than I thought. So you've got a pretty big window here. Just relax. Yeah. And just go grab it. It'll be third Roche. You saw the cheese path after the Aegis respawn from the Huskar was necessary to get him out of Ori out safely. So maybe wait for the BKB too. I like that decision because then even if Ori dies with the spell immunity, like look at IG's heroes. There's absolutely nothing that goes through the immunity.
Okay, so we finally have an answer to the pure damage problem you were talking about for Fly. He finishes up his BKB. So now, during that timing, when he goes in, when he fights, he's going to be able to deal with that severe amount of minus armor, but they may not get an opportunity to do much here as the telekinesis pull back against the Earth Splitter. Does manage to nail him. They get the boat out, though, and Emo might be able to stand and fight the rest of the team. Joins him here, trying to pop out that Huskar, but he's just a tad too tanky. Fly wasn't able to do nearly enough damage.
It's just too hard to take these heroes out captured. They're too tanky, and the team fight, like, if you're going for Ori, sure, but Yang is standing there, uncontested, just spamming shield and heal.
Fisher on it too, torrent forward. Yang will single-handedly take this melee barracks to get a bunch of flat cannon shots. Does a lot.
Glimmer.
But in the end, Vici Gaming are able to get out with all of their heroes. And they could just go for the Roshan. I mean, things were just bad when they were sieging without Aegis Cheese plus whatever third item they're going to get here. It's going to get a whole lot worse. I almost feel like IG had to contest this Roshan when it comes.
I do.
30 seconds.
Yeah, I love it's such a good item. There's very little that can actually counter the range damage of like Enchantress Morphling, but if you Glimmer, you'll just disjoint all those projectiles. And because they're playing from so far back, it's difficult to ensure there's sufficient counter vision to actually a deep enough place to provide vision of the heroes like 1,000, 15 minutes away. I like the smoke move from IG to your point. They know they've got to contest the Roche. They've got the BKB on more. They just need some sort of initiation surprise.
Oh, but Yang, he's just always putting himself between the rest of his team and where he thinks the enemy is going to come through, and they even scan successfully onto IG. I mean, if you don't get a wraparound like that, then your initiation, we saw the last time Earthshaker tried to jump in onto Eurus and got immediately telekinesis. It is going to be a refresh shot, which I don't even know if that's it's better for Vici Gaming or not, but double BKB, double Satanic, nothing to do. You've only got one lane of barracks left.
Yeah, you just all in for it. You just wait for the BKB on Huskar, I imagine. He's so close.
Yeah.
You know, sell a bracer and have enough to pick up.
Got plenty of time left for that Aegis, so no need to rush things here.
As the MKB on the Enchantress.
Okay.
No butterflies to deal with, but the halberds are actually becoming such a problem. Another thing you're having struggles with as IG is, sure, you've got damage to perhaps match Vici, but you're against two halberds with no BKBs. So whenever somebody gets threatened, again, you can only really go for one at a time. So yeah, you go for Huskar, Yang can just do that, disarm somebody, and Enchantress has no real recourse other than to stand and watch for a while. And because Vici's lineup has so much sustain with Nabat and double Satanic, if you don't kill someone immediately, they're going to be full HP when you blink.
Passes off the Paladin Sword, doesn't need it any longer because he has the Satanic. Instead, takes up the Illusionist Cape. A Scythe almost up for PYW. That's just kind of gross that he's almost got that already. Havoc Hammer for IG. Is there anybody who really likes that item? I guess Kunkka.
Okay. Meteor Hammer didn't work out. Maybe Sylvia will wreak havoc with this one.
Well, we'll see. Ori, he's just tanking through those infinite shots. With an MKB, it just doesn't seem to matter. He can't do enough damage to threaten his Huskar. They're going to have to commit a little bit more. It's going to go with the boat, but the disarm already played on. Enchantress has to wait things out for a little bit longer. The boat, not enough, and that boat buff is going to run out if IG don't commit too. Chain Frost's going to be bouncing around a little bit. They do get the flat cannon shots onto a lot of these heroes, but it just doesn't seem to do anything. They're also tanky. The Enchanters aren't. Look at them just standing under the Chain Frost. They don't give a damn about what IG has to throw at them. Or split out. That's going to catch Emo and finish him off. Pull Fly back in as well, and they're just going to call it. That's it. IG, they put up a good run against Vici Gaming, but in the end, their older brothers, so the chat will move forward.
I mean, after the lanes went so well, it was Vici's game to lose. They controlled the map, they took towers early, but it just comes down to tankiness, right? It's win a fight, IG just had to...
They took a lot of what they gleaned from that opening group stage and they've executed it here. Even just the like they were obviously prepped for this Enchantress. They were ready with that Huskar. Yeah. And it didn't look like they blinked. They picked Gyro into Morphling. Talk about confidence. Like they understood what their win condition was, what sort of time they were playing for, and specifically both these teams have now recognized, I think, the importance of both the laning phase and ensuring your cores peak in the mid game.
Vici Gaming team that's getting stronger and stronger. How far they can go, we'll have to see. As first we go to a break, then the panel.